Welcome back to BJP Lifestyle, guys. I hope you're having a great day. If you're new here, make sure you click that subscribe button down below right now to be notified when new videos go live. There's new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. here on the channel. And of course, check out Shop Lifestyle. First link in the description. Get yourself some lifestyle merch. But today, guys, we're actually going to be installing the paddle shifter. So I've been talking about this for a while that I wanted to do it. Finally got them, and everything's in order to do it. So it's kind of late today. We kind of had a late night, so we're gonna have to work on this and hopefully get it done fairly quickly because it's gonna be sunset soon. It's gonna be getting dark. So yeah, I'll walk you through the process and everything that you need to know to do this because I want it. And if you guys have a 2017 or before altitude, then you guys will probably have the paddle shifters, or if you have one that already has paddle shifters, then you don't need to do this. In my case, it didn't have paddle shifters, and I love the look of them. I want to be able to use them, have some fun, get some downshifts with the exhaust and stuff. Let me grab everything I need and then we'll get to work, and it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. All right, so let me go over everything that I'm gonna be using for this install. So first thing is gonna be a T20 Torx, which is gonna be to remove the bolt that's underneath this little plate over here. So we can remove these little plates, which I'll show you guys in a minute. You're also gonna need to disconnect your negative battery terminals. So 10 mil and a 13 mil for the two batteries under the seat. Again, I'll show you that as I do it. But you're gonna need those. I have this little flathead, which hopefully I can get in here and use to pop this, which it should work perfectly. This little flathead has come in handy a lot lately. And then I also have some panel poppers, another flathead, some panel poppers, and the one thing that's gonna come in most handy is a 1/8 hole punch. So this is just like a standard punch, and we're just gonna have to put this into here to pop the airbag out. So again, I'll show you that as I do it, but I just want to make sure I go over everything that you need, and I'll link everything down below. Of course, these are genuine SRT paddles, so I'll take it out here. You guys can see this is one of the paddles. This is obviously the left side. It still has your controls for your radio buttons and stuff like that, and then that's just going to pop in over here, and then we'll be clicking and driving. And yeah, this is obviously one. It's obviously a right one as well. And yeah, these are just going to connect in, which I will show you guys how to do. But first, we need to disconnect the negative side of the battery. So super weird about these cars is that the batteries are underneath the seat. So in order to disconnect them, we have to pull our seat all the way forward as far as it can go, just like that, so you can access it. And then you're going to go right back here into your back seat and go under this little flap here and just disconnect both of the terminals. Now, one size is going to be a 13 mil for the smaller battery if you have it. I don't think everyone does, but if you have it, then you need a 13, and then a 10 mil for just the standard battery. We're just going to disconnect the negative on both, and that should give us no power throughout. All right, so there's no real good angle to show you guys, but yeah, both the batteries down here are disconnected on the negative, so they're chilling. And obviously, like I said, it's just two little bolts, a 13 and a 10, and that's all you got to do to disconnect that. And then we're on to the next step of actually removing everything and installing these. So I have the windows down just because it's a little bit warm, so I did this beforehand. Obviously, you see the screen and everything, nothing is coming on, which means the battery's disconnected exactly how we want it to be. But basically we have to remove this whole front thing and basically the whole piece. So down here you can actually, if you don't have the auto one and you have the manual one, then you just pop this down like that, and then you can pull your steering wheel out as far as it can go and then lock it back into place so that you have more room to work. But yeah, now we're just gonna get to work on this and set up the camera and start popping these panels off, and I'll keep you updated as I go. Basically, you can see back here, this is what the panel looks like now. So we have to pop this little tray off right here. Hopefully you guys will be able to see, but you have to pop this little panel off here. So I'm gonna do that now, and then there's a bolt underneath to get to it. And then it's to the fun part of actually popping out the airbag. So let me just get to work. So I'm just gonna use this flathead and pop in here. Which this flathead is like perfect for this. It's like the perfect size. So I'm gonna throw that in the box over here. You can see that that reveals the little T20 Torx in there. So now we're gonna pop off the other side, and then we'll pop both these panels out, and then it's pretty much just on to pulling the actual airbag itself. Again, super easy, pops right out, and it's not that bad. Now we just need to grab our T20 Torx and pop these out. So this is what the bolt looks like. Make sure you put it somewhere safe because we're gonna need to reuse these to put the new ones in. But after we do that, this whole piece will just fall out. As you can see here, it's just kind of hanging by the wire. So this is what's gonna get replaced. This thing is super light without the actual paddles in it. So yeah, the next step, just to remove the other side. All right, so I think I was wrong with the T20. I was saying it was a T20 Torx. Just kind of ignored that. The T20 was working, but it's a little loose, so I think it's a T25. I think the information I had was incorrect. So yeah, T25 Torx, just to be safe. All right, so the second bolt's out here, and now they're both dangling. Now it's time to do the fun part of grabbing our punch and putting it into the side of here and trying to pop the actual airbag, which I hear is a pain. You have to like pop these clips. So yeah, you kind of just got to feel around, I guess. I don't really know what I'm feeling for, but apparently this is how you have to do it.
One eternity later.
After lots and lots of fighting, we got the airbag out, which, as you can see, it's got these little tabs here. Let me see if I can point to it. So basically you're going in that little hole from the side here, and you need to find this little tiny groove here. You need to find this little tiny groove right here on the side. Then you need to find it and just push in and pop this little pin right here, or this little like metal bar that's coming down here. That's what you're gonna want to hit. It's kind of a pain, and you have to do it on both sides, but once you get one, you can kind of figure out the other. But yeah, it's just a lot of pushing and hoping that you can pop that pin. It becomes a real big fight, but once you get it out, then you only have to do it once. So yeah, now we just have to remove these two little screws up here, I believe, and then this little panel will pop off on both sides. Again, with these bolts, it's going to be the same exact size, which is like a T25 Torx, in order to pop these off. And I believe it's just a one, and then this whole piece should pop out here. But yeah, there's two little bolts you have to remove, same size. Just a quick thing to note, after you pop these little bolts off in here, there's also other little ones in here. Right in here, hopefully you guys can see. I'm trying to jam the camera in there as best as I can. But yeah, right here, this little bolt right here is a T15, I believe. So yeah, now we're gonna remove those, and then this whole piece should actually pop out. All right, I lied. Those little ones in the back are actually a T20. I don't even know if I'm gonna put that in here, but yeah, they're actually a T20, not a T15. So yeah, just be careful, because if you guys have stripped bits like mine are just kind of stripped from being stupid, I don't know if you can see, but forcing them or something, I don't know. So I need to use better ones and new ones so that I can actually get this off. So now that we have those bolts in the back off, you can see that this kind of just pops out on both sides. So now we just got to basically pull this whole thing out and disconnect the little wire that connects to our piece here. Unfortunately, on our Jeeps as well, we have this like trim piece here that goes down here, and just down in the back on the bottom side of the steering wheel over here, there's gonna be two just normal Phillips head screws that hold in where it says like since 1941 whatever down here. So yeah, just two Phillips head. Remove those. It makes it a little bit easier, so you can actually get to all the wires and everything and kind of manage where things need to go. All right, I dropped the little trim piece here that comes down underneath, but now it's time for the fun part of actually disconnecting these. So underneath here, you'll see where the wires kind of go, and you can kind of follow it up and see where it connects. It's going to be up in here. It's going to be a little tiny black connector, which is kind of a pain to get to. You kind of got to fight with it a little bit, but you just got to pop the little clip on it and pull it out, which the little clip is kind of deep in there. It's kind of a pain, but you're just going to press down on it and pull it out, and then do the same thing on the other side. You kind of got to pull these wires out, and then we'll just have to retuck them after. All right, so both of them are disconnected now, so now we should be able to just pull them right through. They just go through this little hole over here. See there? They pull right out, and then these are the old ones, which are super, super flimsy and cheap. And we're just gonna pull both sides out. As you can see there, there's the other one. Now that we got those out of the way, now we can put our new ones in, which are right here. And as you see, these ones have the paddles on them, obviously. So this is the right side with the plus for upshifting. So we're gonna go ahead and run that wire through this little hole here where you pulled out the other one. It can be kind of a tight fit, but you should be able to get it through. And then basically it's just gonna go right back into place just like the other one went. So you can kind of see here how it's gonna look. You just pull the wire as far through as you can. And you can kind of see here how it's gonna look. You'll have your music button still, and then you'll have your paddle shifters, which is really cool. I'm really excited to have these installed and everything be locked in. But yeah, now that we got the wire through, we're gonna keep it hanging, and we're just gonna route the wire up because it kind of has like a path that it needs to go on in order for everything to fit. And you just wanna find that plug that you disconnected earlier, and just go ahead and connect this new one onto that. Make sure it's nice and tight and you hear the click, and then you can kind of just tuck these wires back up in there where they need to go. You're gonna wanna probably do both of them first before you start tucking everything away and kind of getting everything lined up. But we got one shifter on. Now we just got to do the other side. A little bit of patience and you hear that click, and then once that clicks in, you're good to go, and you can tuck all the wires back up in there. You'll notice that when things are kind of hanging, it takes a little bit of maneuvering. It would be a lot easier if I actually just disassembled this whole thing and popped the airbag completely out, but which I probably should have done from the start, just tucked it up there. But now I'm able to actually work a little bit better and kind of maneuver this piece around, because you kind of got to work these wires in so that they all line up and everything is out of the way. The shifters are on. Obviously they're not going to work, so I need to set the car to run mode, I believe, which then will allow me to get into this. You can see your screen's gonna reset and go to factory. You have to reset everything, time and everything, so that's cool. My turn signal's on from when I did that, and my high beams. So now what we need to do is, now that we're in run mode, we need to go down to our audio settings and press our 2 buttons to enter the taser. So as you see here, it says paddles no inside of the performance section of the taser. So this is where we're gonna go ahead and press our buttons to enable it. And just like that, it says paddles yes. And now we're just gonna go through and we will go ahead and reset do a full reboot on the actual taser. And then they should be working, and we'll go ahead and test them out. But once that's done, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll probably strap the GoPro on my head and take her for a drive. Yo, super weird here, but I pulled into my normal spot. As you guys can see here, this is where I normally record. And as you guys can see, there's a whole group of Grand Cherokees here. So that's kind of interesting. I was not expecting to pull into that. I've never actually seen this before. There's some SRTs and some cool ones. I'm sure I'll link up with these guys again soon. I got a card from them. If you guys are in Rhode Island, they're actually Mopars of RI or something. They got a website here, moparsofri.com. But apparently they have like a little Jeep Grand Cherokee meet going on over here. Well, it's mainly Grand Cherokees, but yeah, it was kind of coincidental that I pulled in here to be testing this, and then this is what I saw. So yeah, now we get to test these nice paddle shifters. So let's go for a drive and see how they work. All right, I played around with it for just a little bit here on the drive here, and it feels pretty good. It works, everything works. We'll go for a little drive here, and we'll see if we can get on her and actually rip it just you know, a little bit. That's probably going to be about it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, make sure you click the like button down below right now to help the YouTube algorithm, help this video get out to more people, and of course help the channel grow. If you guys are not already subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button down below right now to be notified when new videos go live. New videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. here on the channel. And of course, check out Shop Lifestyle, get yourself some lifestyle merch. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace!